When duty calls,
praying that they're alive, hoping that, that they'll turn up safe.
a first responder always answers.
He was contacted at home about two boys who had been missing for several hours on the Kentucky River here in Frankfort.
No matter the place,
Water rescues are extremely dangerous.
no matter the time.
He left his house around 5 o'clock to go search for these boys.
It's the Kentucky State Police Code of Ethics. Serve mankind, safeguard lives.
They were just trying to do their job.
But on this day, the tables were turned.
The water levels were very high that day.
The one sent to search, suddenly needing saving.
My name is Katrina McNeely, and I am searching for answers in the disappearance of my father, Trooper James McNeely.
She was only a child when her father went missing.
It's very disappointing I never got to know him.
She tries to remember his face.
Big stature about him, big personality, big blue eyes, dark hair.
For the rest of his story, she relies on records. Trooper McNeely wasn't on duty the night he disappeared.
And it was his day off because it was his 16-year anniversary.
But when he got the call that someone needed him, he dropped everything to respond.
He left his house around 5 o'clock to go search for these boys, where he met with Water Patrol Officer David Childs.
Officer Childs was an experienced Water Patrol officer. Trooper McNeely led the unit for the Kentucky State Police.
He had came to Frankfort to take over the boating division when it first was started. So he knew what was going on, with the boats and everything, and knew what to be done.
A third man was also in the boat, a friend of Trooper McNeely's. Police say the rescuers never made contact with the missing boys. They were eventually found safe.
They got in the boat, got out on the water. As they were getting close to one of the locks, another gentleman saw them getting too close to the dam, started yelling for them, trying to point out the dam. About that time, that gentleman noticed that the motor had stopped on the boat. The boat overturned and went over the dam and was broken apart as it went over.
All three men went overboard.
The water levels were very high that day and at a dangerous level.
McNeely's friend was saved. Police say Trooper McNeely and Officer Childs drowned. When the water receded, one body surfaced.
Officer Childs, his body was recovered sometime later, 126 miles away in Tell City, Indiana. And Trooper McNeely's body has never been recovered.
Katrina remembers getting the news.
I remember the next day, though, everyone crying and the trauma of it all, and just so many family members trying to get to us as fast as they could.
She says she also remembers having questions.
I was probably like in my late 20s, early 30s. And that's when I started talking to the state police about my dad, and there was no information.
She said police wouldn't tell her how long they searched for her dad.
I would think someone who was a 16-year veteran that you would have some kind of files of one way or another.
She said they couldn't tell her how it happened. Do you believe that the boat went over the dam and he drowned?
I question it. I am not 100% believe that it was an accident, or that he is even dead, or that it was foul play. I still have my doubts about it. I'm not 100% about anything because there's just too many things that don't match.
She has questions about the search, how long they looked and where. Questions about the boat, why the motor failed. Questions about his badge. She says it was never returned.
Just every time I find something and have it addressed, it always gets shut down.
Something she is certain of, she missed out on years of memories.
Everyone told me that when you met my father that you would never forget him.
Police promise they're doing everything they can to find the missing trooper.
We're never going to give up trying to look for Trooper McNeely.
Katrina's promise, she won't stop asking questions about his case.
I've been going through this my whole life. I need answers. Wouldn't you want answers?
Hello? Officer down, Bluefield Road.
He was a loving, caring man.
On Bluefield Road by the Y. There's been a tree limb or something. Officer down, please, emergency.
You know, he was a good cop, very active cop.
Ma'am, can you advise the status of the officer? Is he conscious?
I believe he's dead.
He loved, you know, the boys and I. He was a family man. He was outgoing. He was fun. He was energetic. His personality was infectious. He was always the life of the party. And he was amazing.
A dedicated public servant, parent, and partner. Bardstown Police Officer Jason Ellis embodied all that was good.
My name is Rick McCubbin. I'm the retired police chief from Bardstown, Kentucky. Jason was he was a chief's cop. He was a great guy.
Working nights on the force with his canine partner Figo, Jason was a drug officer. But on May 25th, 2013, he was working alone.
Jason had opted to leave Figo home that night since he was not in his canine car and in just a pool car.
Like every other night, Jason responded to calls.
139 dispatch, be traffic stop.
He popped into his son's baseball game.
He got called away in the middle of the game, and we didn't get to say bye to him.
He took a suspect to jail, and then he signed off for the night, leaving the Bardstown Police Department around 2 a.m.
139 out of count.
Driving the dark and desolate Bluegrass Parkway, Jason was heading home. The officer took his typical route, winding around exit 34, seeing something up ahead, something in the road, something that would make the officer stop.
I've just got off work, and there was the police car is sitting in the middle of the road with the lights on.
And I said, what the hell happened?
We didn't know what it was. It's a tree across the road, and I didn't know what it was, and I got out and I went up there and looked, and it's him.
It just feels like it's not real.
Okay, can you tell if he is breathing?
No, sir, he is not breathing. Body temperature is cold.
Foster care is scary because I moved in with people I didn't know. I moved to 3 different homes. St. Joe's is fun, and I think I have improved a little, and a little is better than nothing. St. Joe's tries their best to do fun things with me. They give me chances and try to help me get through the rough times. I would tell my former self, I know what you are going through. You will have a family that wants you. Try your best and be nice and appreciate them because sometimes you get too angry. Go on the right path and listen to them. They are right. Start right now and say how you feel and work on yourself. My 3 wishes. I wish I had a superpower of helping people. I wish I had a superpower to control my anger. I wish I could go back in time so I could change my past to make my life better.